this is part 2 of the Starhawk miniseries, which introduced the modern version of the Galactical Guardians to us, the readers of the comic books. Here are the team on the cover. We have Willow back there. We have Forager, who kinda got the shaft when it comes to the films and stuff. We have Raccoon up front. There is Groot. Then we have Captain Universe Man, and next to him is Deathcry. It's not exactly the lineup that everyone knows from the films, but this was the starting point for that, and this series was responsible for the reimaginings of Rocky Raccoon and Groot that did go on to be in the films. We also have Starhawk, Chris Pratt, him there. He is the leader of this team, and the story is that the Borg from Star Wars, they have taken over the Kree people's planet, and now Chris Pratt, he is leading a ragtag team of Kree prisoners in a mission to destroy the Borg's new weapons factory, or something like that. We open with our team in action, fighting a bunch of Borg sentries, a handy quick display of their powers and stuff, as well as quickly establishing some personality traits and character beats, like Deathcry is basically crazy. She's like a feral animal who just wants to scrap. And Captain Universe Man insults her stupid alien traditions by robbing her of a kill. All of the characters here receive some decent character work, and I will come back to Deathcry and her arc here, because that is one of my only problems with this otherwise great mini-series. It's actually odd how much of this issue is devoted to Deathcry and establishing her as an annoying, honour-obsessed nutcase. Now we cut to the Borg, and they have become aware of the Galactical Guardians, but they consider them not to be a viable threat, since they are a bunch of nobodies with no technology, and they think that they didn't really pose any significant threat to their big evil Borg plans. I really do like this team and this setup, and the writing is great. This is Kevin Giffen writing, and the art is by Green Eyes. The art is really good too. One thing that might shock you to learn is that this is before Marvel made Groot into a joke who only ever says "I am Groot" over and over again. He has proper lines of dialogue and stuff. He's like a tree alien king who speaks like royalty. I think it was the Dan Andy run that introduced the whole "I am Groot" thing, but it wasn't until after that when Groot became just a waste of page time. Then what happens is, while the Galactical Guardians, they're trying to be all covert and stealthy, the Borg, they are attacked by someone else. It is the armies of Annihilation. And this is a nice little nod to the crossover which came before this one, Annihilation. Chris Pratt, he says that they should just avoid this battle and maintain their cover, but Deathcry is obviously mental, and she jumps straight into the fight, which exposes the whole team. And my problem with Deathcry in this is I feel the character was reduced to one-dimensional, and it wasn't very accurate to her past appearances. Deathcry, she was introduced in Bob Patrick Harris's Avengers run, and she joined the Avengers, and she was like a very 90s, trying too hard to be cool type of character. I described her in the last video as Wolfman with space tits, which is fairly astute of me. But beyond the surface level, she had a fairly nuanced character, and her backstory was never actually fully revealed. Deathcry was a teenager, and most of her off-putting or abrasive personality that was bred into her by her alien heritage. She was raised that way, but among the Avengers, she discovered a softer side and restraint, and she got to experience some of the childhood innocence that she never had. She had a crush on the Vision. She became like Hercules man's little kid sister. She was a lot more a fully rounded character than this story suggests. But what happened was, the Avengers books decided to ignore Deathcry for a decade because Kurt Busiek took over and he decided that the 90s was shit. So Deathcry became some obscure character who, prior to this series here, had not a single appearance for 10 years. And here we have Deathcry wrongly remembered by people like Kurt Busiek and Tom Beevor as the stupid 90s character that she only ever really was superficially. It's a shame too, since everyone else is written so well and respectfully, and the miniseries as a whole is pitch perfect. Just Deathcry is written poorly, and then she is, well, you can probably guess her fate. We have a character who is offsetting the team and not playing well with others or listening to orders. And Captain Universe, man, he ends up saving her life again, and Deathcry lashes out because he has insulted her honour again. And then Captain Universe, man, he accidentally uses his cosmic powers to implode her entire body into a mess of blood and skull. That there is the death of a teenage girl. She died a feral disgrace with her backstory never explained. We do finally get her backstory 4 years after this in one of the best Avengers miniseries ever written, but I didn't really care for how harshly and how quickly they dismissed Deathcry in this story. Also, Groot, he ends up making a big last stand to allow the others to escape from the Borg. So Groot, he appears to perish too, and we have Chris Pratt being cold and being all like, Deathcry was far gone and her death doesn't matter. And then Forager suggesting that maybe he sees them all as expendable. Most of this one has been me humming and hawing about a minor character who was killed off, but I do recommend this. This is a fantastic mini-series with a good creative team, really delivering. And the takeaway from this video is that you can do something that I didn't like or I think is bad, and your comic can still be brilliant. Everything else in this comic makes up for what I see as a fairly insulting use of a rather established minor character. This is still a brilliant comic. These 4 issues are must-read stuff. I'm probably gonna give it 7 thumbs up.